In this lesson, we're going to slice audio to a new MIDI track, which is going to be sort of like using a sampler and a drum rack at the same time. And it's one of my absolute favorite functionalities in live. So I'm going to decide to slice these oohs again, or these background vocals. And I'm going to use the secondary click here to get this pop-up menu again. And this time I'm going to select Slice to New MIDI Track. So this window pops up, which wants me to tell it how many times I want this audio to be sliced into smaller increments. So if I choose a different subdivision, like the 16th note here, you'll see it says this will result in 64 slices, which is quite a lot of slices. Or if I go with the half note, this will result in 8 slices. So I'm gonna stick with Live's original suggestion of the quarter note, which will result in 16 slices. I press OK, it jumps into action, and then here we have this new MIDI track with something that should look very familiar to you down here in detail view, which looks like a drum rack. First, I need to select this Show Hide Devices button on the far left so that we're actually able to see what's happening here. And if I select any of the drum pads as I move through it, you'll see this section on the waveform move through, and it's actually hovering over each portion of the slice because this audio was literally sliced up. So just like any other clip in a timeline or the arrangement, I can use this magnifying glass icon. I can click and I can zoom in to get a better look at what's happening here. Just continuing to zoom. And then again, just like a clip, you have a start and a stop marker where you can dictate where this slice is going to begin. So I'm going to take this start marker and just move this over to the beginning of what would be the transient of this first ooh, if you will, and move this one over. So here I'm going to press play and we'll hear this one ooh. And just like any other drum rack, if I have a MIDI controller that's connected here, I can play this slice. I'm just pressing this pad on my MIDI controller. There's a lot of adjustments that you can make in the region underneath the audio file, one of which is to transpose it. If you notice when I play this, this is much different than the audio which we transposed up. So here's the transpose function for this portion of the slices, and I'm going to just kick it up a step. So this is going to fit what the rest of my song is. And then I'm going to move over to slice 2, zoom it on in, and I want slice 2 to begin here. So I've obviously spent some time previously doing this so I could do it very quickly. And then I'm going to transpose slice 2 up 4 steps. Slice 3, I'm going to go in again. I'm zooming in. I want slice 3 to happen a little further along. Again, transposing this up 4 steps. So now if I play these, and I can play them on my controller too. So since this is in essence a drum rack, we should be able to program MIDI into this track just as we were when we were programming drum patterns. So this clip is just a default clip that's going to come up, or I'm going to delete because it serves us no purpose right now. And then I'm going to launch this scene. So listening to the percussive elements of our tracks, launching the vocal so we can hear along with it. And then I'm going to create an empty clip here in this MIDI track. Scrolling down to see slice 1 here. And I'm just going to launch playback and put in a couple of slices. Then I'm going to turn up send A, get some reverb on these vocals. And then I'm also going to turn up send B, which has the delay, and you'll hear the delayed effect here. I'm going to solo it. So now I'm going to play it in also. I'm stopping playback on this clip by pressing this stop button right above the signal flow area. And then if I press play again, I'm going to play it in, pressing record on this icon. 2, 3, 4. again. And this is just the exact same process, moving these start and stop markers over. So maybe this version of it could do with some quantization. I'm just gonna highlight everything, go up to the edit menu and select quantize. And then it'll line everything up for me. Soloing again. So at this point, I've got a lot of information and ideas happening. This will be a good time for me to kind of go through and adjust volume levels and make sure that nothing's stepping all over something else. But basically, you can see how we've created a really cool kind of canvas and a beat using only a very few audio sources and one MIDI source. So whether you are really into MIDI programming and that's kind of the way you want to approach this, or if you like to manipulate audio, you can see that we can do this either way.